Today, let's take a look at this 2021 Ram 1500 Rebel, courtesy of Yark Automotive Group, showing just over 14,000 miles with a clean Carfax report that can be accessed at yarkauto.com at the vehicle listing for the steal of a price of $48,998. Let's start with the exterior. The exterior color is known as flame red clear coat, and it's finished over a black and red interior. So here we can see we have a Goodyear Wrangler all-terrain tires measuring 275 by 70 R18 all around, a beefy off-road tire accompanied with regular springs all around. We do not have air suspension, but we have heavy-duty spring suspension along with a beefy skid plate underneath. This is an interesting front end, almost like it has a little mustache. We got hood louvers up here, and under the hood is a 395 horsepower 5.7 liter HEMI V8. 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque, mated to an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. A proven transmission and provable platform in the Ram trucks. We've got beefy tow hooks right there, LED running fog and parking lights, 1500 logo with the HEMI, of course, and we have this gigantic hood louver, blacked out mirror caps, black accenting, kind of a two-tone color. 5'7" box, dual exhausts at the back, cool Rebel logo and Ram stamped across the back, and of course it is 4x4. Here we have a hitch pin receiver. The tailgate also is power assist down. We have a factory bed liner. I have owned one of these personally. I can say that they are incredibly durable, so you can really throw a lot of junk in the back if you like. These taillights are super cool too. We have Ram embedded in the taillight. No running boards, so it can be a little bit tricky to get up here, but we have grab handles right there. This may as well be a limousine. These seats have so much legroom. You can lay across here as if it were a bed. It's fantastic. We do not have rear climate control, but we can see we have this kind of really high quality plastic trim here, along with his red trim here. It matches this red interior well. I like this color combination. It's sporty and off-road like to match the likes of the Rebel. There's so much room back here to move around. Here we can see we have a cup holder. These are leather seats as well, and they are incredibly comfortable. We've got pockets in the doors right here. More accenting here on the doors as well with this red vinyl color. Massive Alpine speakers for the stereo, and we also have these factory all-season floor mats. Definitely plenty of space to just lay across here or just sit back on a long road trip. Plenty of space and real estate. I'm 6 foot and I fit back here no problem with room to spare. But let's go ahead and check out the cockpit. Of course, this is signature. You can definitely tell there's a V8 under there. Stepping up here, we can see that this is a lot like any other Ram trim level. Starting over here, we have our power mirror controls along with power windows and locks. We have our automatic light control here. Big vents here with ice cold AC. Grab handle up here for driver and passenger. Dimming controls for the gauges. We have the parking brake and the adjustable power pedals. Come over here, we have a leather wrapped steering wheel with red stitching and red accenting throughout, and a really cool updated modern Ram logo. A lot of the switchgear can be found in a lot of Jeeps as well, so it's universal to Chrysler. It's easy to use. Here we have the controls for the screen. That screen has every bit of information you could possibly imagine. Cruise control, we do not have adaptive cruise control. If we had it, it would be right here. But we have traditional old school cruise control. Coming over here, we have the rotary knob. This is the higher end aluminum rotary knob. We have 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive high, 4-wheel drive low, crawl descent control, and the axle lock for the rear. The 8-inch display screen will do just fine. We have the Uconnect 5 system along with radio preset, media preset, phone connectivity, Uconnect apps, which has the backup camera, driver's heat system. We have a nice clear backup camera. This is one of the best backup cameras in the business you can get in a truck. different heated and cooled seat controls, heated wheel. We do not have a navigation system, but we do have a compass, but we have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, so you can use any kind of navigation system you like. Here we have our big climate control knobs. It's nice to know that all of these buttons for comfort are physical, not only on the screen. We have traction control mode and tow haul mode, 2 USB ports, an aux port, and 2 USB-C ports. The fit and finish in here is really impressive. I like the use of materials. I like this color. It's, even though it's an off-road based truck, it is still a comfortable place to be. 12 volt DC up there. A 110 outlet right there. Change holder here. We have 2 cup holders up here, and this is really cool. We have a top storage cubby with a USB port right there. And we have a deeper storage cubby with some really cool sine, cosine, and tangents, because if you thought you were going to escape math class, you're wrong. You can use this to cheat on a math test if you like. But this is really for anyone who likes to use this truck for work. If you need any kind of measuring tools, it's all written right here, and it's actually a really cool quirk. Down there we can see we have in the bottom, we have another cool quirk, which is the history of the Ram truck. If you can see it in the bottom, each generation of Ram truck. There's a cargo divider. This can also slide back, so you have the same amount of space in the front as you do in the back. Ingenious design. This is one of the more usable truck interiors. This is the best truck interior on the market. It beats Ford, and it definitely beats Chevrolet. This Rebel is off-road oriented, but don't let that fool you, because these are still plenty comfortable. As we'll now demonstrate by getting this truck out on the road to see what it's like to drive. Start off in a more rustic setting where the Rebel is more adapted to be. I will say this is not a Raptor competitor. This is the more affordable off-road Rebel that Ram offers. If you want big power and full off-road capability with Bilstein shocks and things like that, then you go for the TRX. But don't be fooled, because this is still plenty off-road capable. Unleash the mighty HEMI 5.7 liter V8 with 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque, and we spin the tires and hook up and go. God, these trucks are so fast. You have no weight over the rear axle, and that HEMI, when you leave a light, you will guaranteed 90% of the time you will spin the tires. That's just a given. And it's so funny, even with these big off-road tires on here, they still break loose. You do have positive traction rear end, so, which means if you're basically one of those people, you can do burnouts in it when you lock the axle. Totally something you can do. But the HEMI has such smooth power delivery. When you're driving around town like this, there's one gripe you might have, and that is the sound of the tires. The tires do produce a whir noise, and it's quite noticeable. But you kind of pay for that when you have these big tires on it, so it's something to be mindful of, and they make a lot of noise. But other than that, the drivetrain is smooth. The transmission shifts like butter. There's still some hesitation when you downshift from third to second or second to first. It likes to stay up in third gear till a very low RPM, and then it realizes that it needs to shift, and then it just kind of clunks down. But other than that, it's really smooth. This is a great drivetrain for a truck like this. And overall in the city, the interior is still plenty comfortable. These, even though we're sitting on regular shock absorbers, we don't have air ride suspension, but that doesn't even really mean anything, because the interior in here is still totally livable, completely comfortable. It really doesn't feel like you're driving a truck. Chrysler has done such a great job differentiating this from an actual truck feel that it doesn't feel like you're driving a pickup. You also have these wide mirrors. This is basically a baby moose, as we like to call it. But you have those small bug mirrors in the top left of the mirror on either side, so it helps you assist in blind spot monitoring. These mirrors are also heated, and you can kind of see the faint outline because of the mirror dimmer. Whereas if somebody's shining their high beams at you behind you at night, you put that dimmer on and it dims what you're seeing. It also works for that mirror as well. As we get on the highway, smooth power delivery, not even really on the gas that much. It gets it up to speed, no problem. Seamless shifting. It really is awesome. Cruising down the highway, you can absolutely hear the whir of those off-road tires. It might give you a little bit of a headache, but that's really the only gripe I can have with this truck. But you get so used to it that you kind of just ended up tuning it out. It doesn't make this truck undrivable by any means. It's still livable on the highway. It's still smooth on a highway like this. So we get on the brakes feel good and responsive. Plush brake pedal, no firmness or anything of that nature. There is body roll, and you can definitely feel it as we accelerate out of this corner. Yeah, a ton of roll. It's floaty, but it's a good kind of floaty. It's not built to handle the Nürburgring like that, but it corners well. The steering is by wire. There's no mechanical connection, so it makes the steering sharp and responsive and very untruck-like and matted. Kick down. Really quick shifts. Really quick shifts. And this is a truck, mind you. The 8-speed works flawlessly. It really does. What's not so flawless is the fuel economy. As we can see right here in the menu setup, we have been averaging about 12.5 miles per gallon. You have a 26-gallon fuel tank, but you also have multi-displacement, so that means this will cut down to fewer cylinders to save fuel on the highway. A lot of brands have adapted to this. So it's definitely not good around town, but you can average about 19 to 20 on the highway. Part of it's because of these tires. But other than that, what it lacks in fuel economy, it makes up for in capability and performance and everything else you would expect a truck to do. This is a great truck. These new Rams are fantastic, and for the price of $48,000, it's really well worth the money. We have to give that thanks to the live market pricing that Yark Automotive specializes in to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck before the keys land in your hand. Overall, this is a fantastic truck. The Ram really holds up well as being one of the best new trucks you can buy. This one is a prime example, and I know that it can be yours. And what you're getting for it is a bargain. As always, be sure to remember to check out Yark Automotive Group. That's yarkauto.com, where you can find hundreds of certified pre-owned and new vehicles to buy. Carfax records are also available for every one of our certified pre-owned vehicles, where you can find them fully listed on the buyer's guide on the listing site. So remember, at Yark Automotive Group, we've got just what you're looking for.